Hey everybody, what's up? Tim with this week's SCE. Hope wherever you're at, you are crushing it and doing awesome. Thanks so much for watching. Title for today's shoot is We Are Either Forged in the Fire or We Are Consumed by It. So are you in the fire of adversity today? Are you in a challenge or an obstacle or a difficulty, or are you pushing to do something great and awesome, but you are feeling the fire? Question is, are you going to let that fire consume you, or are you going to let it shape you? And one of the best analogies I've ever heard around how we respond in the fire comes to us from the story of the samurai sword. And right here in front of me, I don't know if you can see it or not, I have a Musashi samurai sword. Now, the samurai swords, obviously, there's a ton of them on the market right now that you can buy for a couple $100, but there are also some out there that come from feudal Japan. And these swords are worth a ton of money. And several years ago at Christie's auction house, one sold that broke all the records for all the swords that were ever made. And the reason why that sword was so valuable is because one swordsmith spent more time and attention on that blade than any other blade known in history. And the way that a sword is made, the way that a samurai sword is made, is they take a piece of iron, piece of metal, and they stick it in the furnace and they heat it. And then they bend it over in half. And when they bend it in half, it strengthens it. It allows them to sharpen the blade. It allows them to polish the blade. And it just is what makes the sword. And then they stick it in water to temper it. And then they go through the process again. It goes back into the furnace. And then they fold the blade and it goes back in the water. And it happens again and again and again. Well, when they looked at this blade under an electron microscope, they found that it had almost 1 million folds in it. So one swordsmith spent decades making this single sword blade. And it went in the furnace again and again and again. And that's what made it so valuable. And that's what made it so sharp. They could sharpen it more than any other blade known in history. And that's why they could polish it. And that's why it became such a deadly weapon, because it had gone in the furnace more times than any other sword known to man. And it went in the furnace again and again and again. And it didn't break and it didn't bend, but it went back in the furnace and back in the furnace and back in the furnace. And the very fact that it went back in the furnace again and again and again is what made it as sharp as it was, made it as polishable as it was, and it made it as valuable as it was, and as deadly. So for you and I, if we want to be sharp, if we want to be polished, if we want to be effective and of great value, we have to be willing to go in the furnace and not break. Because a lot of times the sword blades go into the furnace and they don't make it out. They break, they warp, whatever the case is, and they're worthless. But if you're willing to go into the furnace again and again and again as a sword blade, you're going to come out and you're going to be sharp and of great value and deadly, because you are in the hands of the master swordsman. Well, you and I are in the hands of the master swordsman, and we get put in the furnace again and again and again. And it's not designed to break us. It's designed to make us. It's designed to sharpen us. It's designed to increase our value. It's designed to make us beautiful. And if we go into the furnace and we reshape the way that we think about it, that when we are put in the furnaces of life, through the adversities, the difficulties, the challenges, they're not there to break us. They're there to sharpen us. They're there to increase our value. They are there to increase our effectiveness and our proficiency. And when we're willing to go in again and again and again, and more than anybody else, we are going to come out on the other side of unbelievable value, of unbelievable effectiveness, of unbelievable sharpness, and we will stand out and differentiate ourselves from everybody else. But you've got to be willing to go in the furnace. You've got to be willing to be made in the furnace and not broken by it, because the furnace will either make you or it will consume you. The easiest thing in the world to do, folks, is to be consumed in the furnace and to give up and to quit. The hardest thing to do is to buckle down and to change the way we see the furnace and to say, you know what, this furnace, although I don't like it, I'm not happy with it, I know it's designed to make me better. And on the other side, I'm going to come out of more value, I'm going to come out more effective, I'm going to come out far better positioned than ever before. And when we think that way, we start to look forward to the furnace. We start to look forward to going in there because we know that it's a benefit to us. We know that it's not going to destroy us. It's designed to make us if we just persevere and look at it from that perspective. So the furnace, the fire, is designed either to make us or to consume us. Don't allow yourself to be consumed in the fire. If you're in the fires of adversity or challenge or obstacles right now, don't bend, don't break, don't give up, don't yield. Realize this is for your benefit. Change the way that you see yourself. Change the way that you see yourself in this situation and realize it is to help you, not to hurt you. And like that samurai sword that went into the furnace again and again and again, you're in the hands of the master swordsmith. He is making you and shaping you and formulating you into where you need to go, into who you need to be. Your value's being increased. Your effectiveness is being increased. You're going to be polished. You're going to be more beautiful. You're going to stand out, and you're going to have everything you need designed to do what it is you want to do, to go where you want to go, and to fulfill your purpose. So the furnace is either designed to make us or to break us. Don't be consumed in the fire. Realize you are being strengthened by it. Change the way you see the fire, and you'll not only come through successfully, but you'll start to look forward to going into the fires of adversity because you realize it's an investment in you, and it's going to leave you far better and equipped than you can possibly imagine. So this is Tim with today's SCE. Hope you are doing awesome, and hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.